Welcome back to ABCNews.com's Top Line. We're joined now by Roger Simon from Politico.com, joining us from Politico's headquarters. Roger, thanks for being here. I want to start with what we're seeing now in the latest ABC News Washington Post poll. Let's take a look at some of the numbers right now. We asked, one of the questions was whether you approve of President Obama's handling of health care. You'll see that 48-48 split. So up just a nudge from the last poll, but that's really not any kind of significant bounce. You still have as many people saying they don't like it as like the way he's handling it, Roger.
Yeah, we're not exactly seeing a tsunami of support here. And as you pointed out, the president did fire his big gun. He did what he does best, the major speech, another eloquent, moving speech. That it hasn't moved the poll numbers yet must be of some trouble to the White House. But what they've really got to move now is Congress. I'm not surprised if people answering a pollster's question might be a little confused about health care because we simply don't know what the plan is yet. But I think in general, you're seeing that confusion reflected in split polls.
Roger, I wanted one number that jumped out at me. We're going to skip ahead of graphic folks in the control room here, but in comparing Obama's trust level to handle health care reform to the Republicans in Congress. Take a look at this. Back in June, 55% trusted Obama, and compared to 27% for the congressional Republicans. Now, 48% trust Obama, 36% trust the congressional Republicans. That is rather surprising to me that the Republicans are making significant gains here after this summer where we saw a lot of intensity on their side.
It really has got to be troubling to the White House because look at what you're comparing here. You're comparing one individual, a very compelling figure who has just come off an historic election to an amorphous Republicans in Congress. I mean, who likes them? But you're seeing, even in the face of that, you're seeing presidential numbers dropping. And I would say all that gain for the congressional Republicans, not just a belief that congressional Republicans really have smart answers to health care in America, but as more of an anti-Obama vote, that people are just losing confidence in his ability to get this done.
Roger, is the easy answer here just to drop the public option? I mean, one of the interesting things in this poll, we can look at the numbers here. We asked people whether they supported health care reform without the public option. You take the public option out of it, and there we saw some positive numbers. 50% say support, 42% oppose. Now, a lot of people who are watching this say that's where we're going to end up anyway. Is that really the way that you get the public on board as well as the Congress?
I think it certainly gives the president ammunition to do what he wants to do, which I think is basically drop the public option. I think we've been getting more than hints of that for a while. It used to be the essential thing. We needed to keep the insurance companies honest, to use President Obama's term. Then it became a sliver. Then in the speech before Congress, it was something that was really, really good. But if anyone had any better idea, that might be really, really good too. I think the air has just gone out of that balloon. I really think instead of just standing up and saying he is dropping the public option, he is going to let the Senate Finance Committee say it for him.
And it seems that he did some gains with unifying his party around that, so perhaps not as much liberal blowback on that as we go forward. Roger, look ahead, though, a year from now, when you have these midterm elections coming up. These members, we have 49 Democrats sitting in districts McCain won. We have some 54 Democrats that won in these swing to conservative districts in the last two Democratic waves. Is it in their self-interest to vote for this health care plan or against it, or does it not matter and it's all about the economy?
It matters, and it's tied to the economy. The economy has made everyone far more concerned about anything that has to do with the spending of money and with the government spending of money. After all, the government voted earlier this year, Congress voted earlier this year for what, $700 billion for Wall Street bankers, basically? That's basically just slightly shy of the cost of universal health care for the next 10 years. And people are saying, what have we seen for it? You point out accurately that for some Democrats, this is not an easy vote if this is portrayed as a deficit-increasing, budget-busting bill. The president has promised it won't be that, but it is really hard to see how you get to deficit neutral by just putting a fee on insurance companies and eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse.
And whether people believe that it's even possible is another question. Roger Simon joining us from Politico.com. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger. Always good to hear from you.
Thanks.
I still want to be a fly on the wall at the restaurant tonight this afternoon with Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. I wanted to get to that with Roger. We ran out of time, but that does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.
And twitter.com/The Note. Keep that conversation going all day long. Thanks for being here.
What do you think is agenda item one on that?
Well, who gets to order the appetizers? That's what I want to know.